this is Hannah, and here is the little soybean looper moth that emerged. So it is doing very well, and today I'm going to release the moth into the wild. Before I do that, I'm going to show you the past feeding videos. The moth has been fed already multiple times and is doing very well. It had its first feeding on October 11th, and it was given honey mixed with water and a blue top. Today I am going to pick some flowers for our little soybean looper moth, and it is doing very good, so I hope I can feed it some flower nectar. And I don't know for sure, but what I think the moth will like the most is this flower. These are butterfly bush flowers, and I'm going to pick some from our mini butterfly bush. And the reason why I think it's going to like these flowers the most is because 2 months ago I saw a similar kind of looper moth called a silver Y moth, and it really liked these flowers. It was all over these flowers, and it drank a lot of nectar from the flowers. I actually have a video posted out there about that moth, and it was a special evening visitor to see. Actually, it visited many more times after that video. I only posted one video of it, and I don't know if it was the exact same silver white moth that was coming back each time. I don't know if it was the same individual or multiple silver white moths coming to the plant, but it was really nice to watch them drink nectar from the flowers. And I'm also going to pick one of these flowers. This is our penta flower bush, and it's really pretty and looking really good. Just such a beautiful flower. So let's get these flowers, and I'm going to bring them in and see if the moth likes them or not. Okay everyone, so I picked the flowers for our moth. Now the question is, will the moth like the flowers? Let's find out. Okay everyone, I put the moth on the flower, and it is getting a really good meal. It is actually drinking the nectar from the flowers with its proboscis, with the wings vibrating, and this is just really awesome to see the moth feeding the same way it would if it was in the wild. I actually tried it out with the penta flowers first, and the moth didn't seem to like those, it just flew away. But with these flowers, the moth is feeding the same way it would in the wild. This is the same way I observed the silver Y moth feeding, and it's just magnificent to see the moth feeding the same way it would in the wild, and it just absolutely loves the flowers from the butterfly bush. So you might realize that the light looks dimmer than it did in the previous videos with the feeding that I did with honey water, and that's because I moved the light to the outside of the tent because I didn't want me to accidentally move the light and the flower cup to get knocked over, because that would have resulted in a huge mess, water all over the place, flowers out, and it's not something I want to clean up, so that's why I moved it to the outside. I put it on the opposite side of the entry because I don't want the moth to be purposely trying to fly out. And this is really good. When you see the moth actually just flew away from the flower and is flying right back to it. So this is just an amazing feeding to watch. Okay everyone, this is just absolutely amazing to watch, and I think it's so exciting to watch this little moth feeding the same way it would in the wild. I have watched videos on YouTube of people getting their hummingbird moths to feed while hovering just like they would in the wild. And when I had my own hovering hummingbird moth, I actually tried to do that with it too, but I couldn't get that to happen. And with most butterflies and moths, I can't get them to behave the same way they would in the wild when they're in captivity. But with this moth, I have actually gotten it to do that, and that was just amazing to see. Now it seems to be tired of drinking nectar from the flowers, and it's flown up to the side of the tent. And that was just an amazing feeling to see. Okay everyone, we are back from the park, and I picked a bunch of nice wildflowers for the moth. I didn't get as many as I probably would have because picking the flowers is so fun, but I wasn't sure if the moth would even like these flowers. They are really beautiful wildflowers, so I'm going to see if the moth likes these flowers or not. Okay everyone, it is now time to release the little soybean looper moth and let it go into the wild where it belongs. I'm hoping it'll at least stop and land on some of the flowers in the garden and get some nectar from them before it flies off for good. But if not, then I'm not going to be mad at the moth because it's a wild moth. It can go where it wants to go. It can do what it wants to do. And I'm not controlling what the moth does. So let's release this little moth and see where it goes and what it does. Okay everyone, we are outside and it is now time to release this little soybean looper. So it's a beautiful evening, the sun goes down in just a little bit, not long, and I'm going to release this moth over here by the flowers so that it will have a higher chance of noticing the flowers maybe before it flies off. And some kind of moth actually just flew away from the flowers right now. It's over there. It just landed on the fence. It's a really tiny moth. It's not big at all. There it is. So I don't know if it was drinking nectar on the flowers. It just flew away again. So I don't know if it was drinking nectar on the flowers or if it was just over there resting and I startled it and it flew away because it was startled by my presence. I don't know. But let's release the soybean looper moth now. The temperature is kind of low out here. It's not very hot, so I'm not sure if the moth is going to be very active. But let's just see what happens. Okay. Oh, the moth actually calmly got on my finger. So like I said, the temperature is not very high right now. It's autumn temperature, so maybe that's what's making the moth not be very active right now. But let's put it on the flower and see what happens. Oh wow, everyone, look. I put the moth on the passion flower and it's now vibrating, which is a sign that it's getting ready to fly. Let's see what happens. I'm taking off. I'm going to walk it down to the butterfly bush quickly. I want it to be near the butterfly bush when it flies because I want it to see the garden. There it is vibrating. It has its wings up. They vibrate to warm up in cold temperatures. And really anytime they need to warm up after a long rest. So that's what it's doing right now. Like I said, it's a sign that it's going to take off soon, so let's see. I might be enjoying the last moments with this little moth if it decides to just get right out of here. But let's see what it does. There it goes. It's flying around the plants. Maybe it'll drink some nectar. Let's see what it does. It's enjoying freedom. There it is flying around. Oh wow. Come on, the butterfly bush is over here, little guy. Oh, it's actually going around some clover. This is really exciting. Wow. It landed. Oh, wow. It's really enjoying freedom. It's flying around really fast. Oh, wow. So it actually landed really briefly on these little yellow Cosmo plants. And I was trying to walk around to show it to you, and I think I scared it off. Now it's over here on our butterfly bush. Oh, wow. This is really exciting to see it drinking nectar again. I'm trying to approach really slowly because I don't want to startle our little moth, especially knowing it's one I released. I actually thought it had gone over the fence. There it is. Wow. This is quite interesting to watch. Look at that. This is its first time feeding in the wild. Isn't this amazing to watch, everyone? So it's doing just what I was hoping it would do. I hope that it would drink some nectar from the garden before flying away instead of just getting right out, and it did just that. So this is really, really awesome to see. And I'm so happy that it's doing this. The tablet can't see it really good because it's getting dark. Wow, everyone, this is really good to see. I'm just sitting here and watching this moth in awe as it drinks nectar from the flower. It actually just stopped flapping its wings for a moment. Now it's vibrating again. Right now it's actually not feeding anymore, it's just resting. Oh, now it's feeding again. For a second it paused, it had its proboscis rolled up. I don't know if you could see that with the tablet. The tablet is not picking it up really good since the sun went down. But this is just so exciting to see. Wow. It really likes the butterfly bush, just like the silver Y, and it's doing just the same thing it did in captivity when I gave it the butterfly bush flowers. The camera can't see it really good because it's not that light out here. And I'm really happy that I moved the moth over here when I saw it vibrating because it was over there on the passion vine, and I don't know if these guys like passion vine flowers or not. But I'm happy I moved it over here to the butterfly bush because that's what it seems to like the most. And just like the silver Y moth that I saw 2 months ago, they have really fast darting flight. So as they fly, you might think that you've lost it. You might think it's gone and it might still be there. You never know because of their fast darting flight. So I'm trying to keep a close eye on this little guy. I'm trying to record it while looking with my eyes at the same time. And it's so nice to see this little moth start feeding again because, like I said, it hasn't drank nectar since October 13th, and for some reason it just stopped doing that. So maybe it did it because it wanted to be in the wild. It wanted to get a taste of nature. So now it's flying around to see if it can find some other plants to drink nectar from. It's going right back to the butterfly bush. Now thinking I can see this flower. It's flying around again. I actually thought for a moment it was going to go to the pentas. It landed on that flower, but that one hasn't blossomed yet, the one that it's on now, so it didn't get much. I was already about to say that I was probably going to fly away really quickly and that it was not going to get much, but I didn't even have enough time to say that. I was checking the penta flowers out, which is good, in captivity and never even had anything to do with pentas. But now it's flying over there in the yard, so let's hope it doesn't leave us just yet. It seems to be making its way back to the garden. And I think I lost it with its darting flight. It darts around really good. So I'm not sure where it went now. It seemed to be making its way back to the garden, then I lost it. Because like I said, they have a really fast darting flight and it's really easy to lose one of them. Okay everyone, so I was searching around and there's the moth. Thankfully it's back in the garden flying around the plants. It's checking out the penta, but it's more interested in the butterfly bush. Also flying around the zinnias too. It's checking out a lot of different flowers that it hasn't seen before in captivity. It's back in the butterfly bush again. A lot of the butterfly bush flowers have died off now. And it's getting darker and darker, so the tablet is not really seeing it really good. I kind of want to run in the house and get a light really fast to help the tablet see it, but at the same time I don't want to miss this little moth. It's so exciting to watch this little moth fly around and check out multiple flowers. Like, its best interest is in the butterfly bush, but it's also checking out some other flowers. It even is flying around the net that I just had it in. Okay everyone, so the moth finally left our yard after I went to get a flashlight and hoped that it would help my tablet to see it better. I really hope that the moth lives a long, healthy, and successful life and that it does good out there and finds many other flowers. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Bye everyone, and see you next time.